Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Paul Kerstetter, and today I'm going to make a hexagonal planter. The wood I'm going to be using for the planter is right there. And what this is 3 1x8s by 6 feet, 4 1x2 by 2 foot. So that's the wood, it's reclaimed wood, and to see where I got that wood from, there's a link in the description of the cabinet that it came from that was being thrown out on the curb. And then also I have plans. These are the plans, and I came up with these plans by first drawing a Fusion 360 model of a hexagonal planter, and with Fusion 360 I was able to easily come up with the dimensions of the wood and the angles that I need to cut. There's a link in the description of that video of how I came up with the Fusion 360 hexagonal planter model. Now, if you don't know Fusion 360, well, here are the plans that I'm going to go by. And the planter, what I found out by a measurement from Lowe's, there's a planter at Lowe's. I measured a planter and I found out that the height of the planter is about the same as the width of the top of the planter. It'll be 14 inches wide and 14 inches high. And one piece of wood of the 6 pieces of the side wood for the planter is shown here. And this is 7.5 inches at the top, 5 inches at the bottom. There's an 85-degree angle here, but this is a compound angle. And that compound angle also has 120 degrees associated with it. And then also there will be 10-degree angles there for the top and bottom of this wood because it has a 10-degree tilt. So there's the plans. So let's get going. Okay, the first step is to set the bevel angle to 10 degrees. And I already made a cut. The next step is to cut another 10-degree angle right there, and I need to make 6 of these boards. As you can see, I have a stop here with my 2-pipe clamps, so I should be able to make 6 boards fairly quickly. So I got my 6 boards cut. This is 14 inches long. I have the 10-degree bevels on there, and it's supposed to sit like this, and that'll make it so this top is horizontal with the ground. And the only thing I would pick on with my setup, as you can see, I have the pipe clamps and a stop there, but I didn't actually fasten the miter saw. You know, you can do that here with clamps. And I didn't fasten the miter saw to the bench, and so the miter saw moves a little bit when you make a cut, and so then these sizes become a little bit off, but other than that they came out pretty good. Okay, the next step, I'm going to put a 3/4 inch channel on the front face of the planter with my dado blade. The next step is to set the miter angle to 5 degrees and set the bevel angle to 30 degrees. And then we're going to cut the wedges. There's like a number of things you have to check to make sure you're cutting the right face of the wood. Like this is the way it's going to lean this way. So that means this is the front face. Front face looks good. This is what I want to be the front face. Leans this way because it's got a 10-degree cut here. It's a 10-degree tilt. And when I put it here, and the way this is set up is this part of the saw makes the long end, this part of the saw makes the short end. If you're over here, however, this makes the short end and this makes the long end. So remember, we're trying to make a wedge here. Short end, long end. This way is the bevel. Okay, there you go. Rotate it, flip it. Short end here, long end here. So we got a wedge out of it. Well, I got 6 pieces to work with now, 6 wedges. And the plan is to use this tape. Tape it, tape it, tape it, tape it. Then flip it over and then glue it with my Type Bond 3 Ultimate Wood Glue. And I'm just going to do 3 at a time. And we'll see how it goes. Okay, let's flip it over. Okay, flipped over good. Okay, we got some water so we can clean up the wood glue when it squeezes out. I'm going to put some glue in here. I ended up gluing up 2 of the 3 sides at the same time, and then the final glue up will be putting the 2 halves together. Of course, we got to put the bottom in and we got to put the top on as well. Today I'm going to glue the 2 halves together. We're going to try putting a wire around it here to clamp it. So I cut half a hexagon, and what you need for this is an 8.5 inch length there and a 4 1/4 inch side, and it helps to have an angle gauge, which is showing 0 degrees right now, but it was set at 30, so I measured those off at 30 degrees and drew a line. And then it also is necessary to have your bevel angle set to 10 degrees there. So that's the way it works. I am just going to use this now that I've done this as a pattern. You set it to about 30 degrees, but then you check it. My miter saw is a little bit off, so I have to. That's pretty good there, so I'm going to lock it down. Come back over to 0 degrees. half a hexagon. So now I've got to glue those two together. So this is the bottom, by the way. This is the bottom. You glued them two together and didn't drill a hole in the center. Now we're making the rim, and this should be pretty easy. Just make 30-degree cuts on either side there. Make sure your bevel is set to 0 degrees, 30 degrees. Hey everyone, the planter is finished, but before I take you over to take a look at where it is and to see the finished result, I'd just like to make one or two points. The first point is I developed the model in Fusion 360, and I got the dimensions and the angles from the Fusion 360 model. And then I built the planter with my bare hands, and I sort of struggled, but from the build I actually realized the math behind the planter, and it's actually fairly simple. And what this means is I don't have to use a Fusion 360 model anymore. I can just use the simple math to design and develop planters now. So let me share that with you. The math is 360 degrees divided by the number of sides divided by 2 to get the bevel angle of the compound cut. So in our case we had 6 sides, so 360 degrees divided by 6 is 60 degrees, divided by 2 is 30 degrees, and that was the bevel angle cut in the compound cut that we used. Now for the miter cut, that is also pretty simple. It's simply the tilt angle divided by 2. And in our case, the tilt angle was 10 degrees. You divide that by 2 to get 5 degrees, and that gives you the miter cut in the compound cut. So the math is pretty simple, and that's sort of a generalized way of coming about it without the need of a Fusion 360 model. The only other thing is my compound cuts were not as accurate as they should be, and that caused me to struggle to glue the thing together. The hexagonal shape became out a little wonky, and then the rim was really unforgiving, and so I decided not to make the rim and sort of simplified the planter build. So, but I think it looks really good. Let's go over there and take a look at it now. Okay, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked this video, please like it and hit the subscribe button. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.